Hey, I'm just testing out this YouTube live. Want to see. Testing out YouTube live. Wanted to pop in. I got a question today, and I see this question all the time when I'm doing my Instagram Q&A. And the question is, how do I know if a man is interested? And today, I've been hearing a lot, in coaching sessions, women saying to me, "Oh, if a man contacts me every day, it's creepy." And that always kind of creeps me out because I'm like, wouldn't you want to hear from someone every day if they're interested in you or if you're interested in them? And so one thing I see a lot is that because of social media today, because of the text message society, and because of the dating apps, men have a lot more women to entertain. So if a man goes on a dating app, he's meeting 5 to 10 dateable women every single week. So you're talking 20 to 40 dateable women every month. And then because of text message, you can text with 5 to 7 to 10 different people at one time. And so you text a lot. And a lot of women today are putting a lot of emphasis on the hello beautiful, like that good morning text in the morning, which it means nothing because you literally can have a list of 10 women, text hello beautiful, copy it, and then just paste it in the next 9 messages, and you're done in like 20 seconds. And then women are taking that and fantasizing and just letting it mean something, letting it mean all this. But I'm going to tell you the number one key to know that a man is interested in you for the right reasons, truly interested in you for the right reasons, is this man will get on the phone with you every single day for at least an hour. Now, I know some of y'all say, look, I don't even have time to talk to a man for an hour. For at least an hour, he will get on the phone. If that means from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m., 10 p.m. to 11 p.m., that last conversation before bed, or if it means 15 minutes in the morning when you're heading to work, 15 minutes at lunch so that you still have some time to eat your lunch in peace, 15 minutes after work when you're heading home, and 15 minutes at night to say good night. However it breaks down, and this isn't, an exact science, but understand that at least an hour a day, okay, 45 is about the same thing, 30 is still something, but truthfully, when a man is interested, truly interested, it's going to be about an hour a day. And then if he's really, really interested and you have the time, then he will give you 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. I've been married 12 years. I don't know how the cameras flip, but this is my left hand. I've been married 12 years. And when I met my wife, we sat down, our first conversation, we talked for 6 hours. We sat down the next day on the bench outside of her apartment. We talked another 6 hours. When I was at my apartment and she was at her apartment, we would get on the phone every night and talk 2, 3, 4 hours. When we would be in person, we would be talking like 4 hours minimum. Why? I was extremely into her. And I came from being a womanizer, a dog, a liar, a cheater, a manipulator, a deceiver. So what I'm saying is, if the absolute worst man, worst type of man, the biggest player can meet a woman, really like that woman and give that type of time and energy, then the everyday guy who's not really a womanizer, not really promiscuous, then he definitely should be given that type of time and energy. And then as a woman, if you're like, look, I don't want to talk to nobody that much, then you have to question if you really want to be dating. And you got to question why. You got to question if you've dated so many tough guys, so many bad boys that call you every other day, just text you majority of the times in communication, he's just texting. if you've gone through that so much to where that has become your norm and you've been become accustomed to and conditioned to just getting mostly text message communication or like 5-10 minute phone calls, you talking like that, you can't even get to know a person. Text is not real. In building a relationship, text is not real. It is not real. It's too much time to think about what you're gonna say. It's too many messages that can just be copy and pasted to every single person. Text is not real. You need to be able to talk to a person on the phone where the conversation is fluid, to where they don't have time to think up lies, to try to come up with all this game. They just got to be able to talk from the heart. You can ask questions, boom, 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 right on the spot, get real-time answers. And to be honest with you, if you live in the same city, a lot of these conversations can be in person, or you can do it by FaceTime, where you can see a person's facial response. You can see what they're saying. Because today in this dating app society, you really want to take up as much time as the person you're dating as you can without neglecting your priorities. Don't neglect your priorities. Don't neglect your job. Don't neglect your children. If you have children, don't neglect your sleep. So there should be no neglecting, but you should be taking up as much of that free time as you have to get to know someone. Because if you're just texting, or if you're just talking on the phone every other day, every 3 days, you're wasting your time. And here's the issue with that. When you're not talking consistently and actively, the issue with that, when you're trying to build a relationship or you're trying to sustain a relationship, like my wife and I, when she cooking for my son, we just got home from soccer practice. My 5-year-old, he's already in bed. My 12-year-old, we just came home, so my wife's cooking for him. So that gives me some time to come talk to you. When he's done eating, he's getting in the shower, and then he has to do some homework, then he's going to bed. Let's say he gets in bed 9:30. Me and my wife, we will sit and talk from 9:30 probably to 10:30, 11:30, sometimes midnight, sometimes 1, 2 in the morning. Why? Sustaining and building the relationship. 12 years into marriage, we still try to talk an hour or more every single day. Sustaining, building the relationship. I got to fly to California tomorrow, so when I get in the hotel room, if I can get in before she has gone to bed, we will talk 2 hours on the phone. Sustaining and building the relationship. See, what happens when you don't do that is, if you talk to somebody on Monday and then you just text on Tuesday, and then you talk on Wednesday, you just text on Thursday, what happens is a man has time to fill in other women on those in-between days. And then also, women, what y'all do is, when you talk to a man on Monday, you will fantasize about him on Tuesday. And then you'll be fantasizing about this man. You're thinking about how nice he is, how sweet he is, how amazing he is. And you're not paying attention to his lack of effort and his lack of attention and his lack of actions, that he's not showing up on a daily basis. And you may be okay with it if you've been conditioned, or you've been telling yourself that you don't want to talk to a man every day because of your life. If that's the case, you shouldn't be dating, because a man has to talk to his woman every day just to stay focused. Because men, you've heard before that a man has a sexual thought every 15 seconds. If a man is with a woman, he has to be into that woman, and he has to stay locked in and focused. If not, that idle mind becomes the devil's playground, and he'll be tiptoeing around. Before you know it, he'll be cheating. He'll be juggling multiple women. And that's what a lot of men are doing today. So when you are dealing with a man and you come and you say, listen, Tony, a lot of my coaching sessions, I'm coaching clients, and they're like, oh, we talk like every other day, 2 or 3 times a week. I'm like, well, how long have y'all been doing that? Oh, 3 or 4 months, 6 months, 8 months. And I'm like, no, sir, Bob, you wasting all of your time. Because what's happening is, see, men have heard of the 90-day rule. They've heard of that. I created it in 2007. Steve Harvey made it famous in 2009, but I published it in my book in 2007, and it was called a 3-month rule. Men have heard of this, where that they need to give 3 months before they can expect anything. So what a player, what a womanizer, what a cool dude, what a bad boy, what the swaggerlicious dude gonna do is he's gonna talk to you every other day. And he's gonna appease you with maybe a selfie, little picture, and some text on them in between days while he's talking to his other women. But what's happening is you're giving him credit for the days that he wasn't even present. So he's talking to you every couple of days, every few days, every 4 days, and you're thinking about him in between. So you're giving him credit that he has not even earned, just because your mind is fantasizing and going all this way and that way. So hey, understand that if a man is into you, he's going to call you every day, not just text. He's going to call you every day, and he's going to try to give you at least an hour of his time and get an hour of your time or more if he is truly, I'm talking about husband material. But now this is the key right here. It does not count the same if he lives with a roommate, or he lives with his mother, or he's out of work, or you make more money than him. What I mean by this, and let's make it simple, let's make it plain. If he needs you in some way, shape or form, financially, something like that, if you are doing better than him, then the amount of communication does not count the same. But when a man is bringing to the table equal or greater what you're bringing to the table, and he's steady and he's stable and he's independent like you, he's not a codependent with his mom or with his roommate, he's not a dependent living off of someone else and without a job, but he has a job, he has his own place, he has his own car, and you're not necessarily like a prize on a pedestal. Like y'all are equals. Your two dimes come together. It's not a nickel trying to get a dime. When that is the case, and that man who has something to bring to the table is giving you an hour a day, and I know y'all talking about, oh, I don't need an hour, I ain't got that much time. You ain't got that much time, you don't need to be dating then. Because if you can't dedicate an hour a day to building a relationship, this is somebody who can kill you. This is somebody who can steal from you. This is somebody who can walk you down the aisle, give you his last name, and then divorce you in a year and take half of everything that you have. You already have your house, you already have your car, you already have a savings, and he'll be asking for alimony, he'll be asking for everything. So if you don't have an hour a day, even if it has to be broken up, that you can talk to a person, not on text message, you don't need to be dating. You're not ready to date. If your heart can't handle it, if your schedule can't handle it, you don't need to be in a relationship. And if a man cannot give you that, he's not ready for a relationship. He's not ready. Trust me. Y'all think that I'm talking to you just a talking head. There's a lot of talking heads out here. But I'm a professional relationship coach. I'm in the trenches every single day. I know what makes it. See, a lot of people, you're just in your relationship. I'm in thousands of relationships. So I get to see the data of what makes a relationship work and have longevity. And not just the exception to the rule, because you may be an exception to the rule. I'm talking about the majority. I'm talking about the rule. So talk an hour a day. If that can be on FaceTime, then FaceTime. If you live close and it can be in person, let it be in person. But set boundaries around that, because you don't need to end up in the bed. And we'll talk about that later on some other calls. But hey, this is Tony Gaskins. I just want to try this YouTube live. Thank y'all so much for being on here. I might like this better than Instagram live, and I could do it landscape instead of portrait. So, hey, God bless y'all. We'll talk soon. Y'all gotta figure out how to end this thing now.